Welcome to the Boostly podcast. This is the podcast that gives hosts the tools, the tactics, the training, and the confidence so you can go out there and get more direct bookings. Today, we are going behind the host with another successful and interesting short-term rental owner. We're actually focusing in the UK here today, and I'm really excited. Ged, who we've got on today, has been in Boostly's world for quite a while, and I'm really pleased to get his story, find out about how he got into hospitality, what he's doing now, what he's excited about, and things that you'll be able to pick up and learn from his experience as well. So let me introduce Ged Gurney from Mersey Beach Short Stays, and welcome along, Ged. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Liam. Thanks for having us. Yeah, I enjoy the show. I watch it often. Like I say, I've been in this market for a long time, so it interests me tremendously. You know, I think every day's a school day in this game.
If you can give an introduction to yourself and where your business is based in the world, what sort of business it is, how many units, and how long you've been hosting, that would be awesome.
Okay, super. Well, I should actually guess from the accent, I'm a Scouser. But I'm regarded as a plastic Scouser because we live 2.5 miles away from Liverpool city centre, but we're in a small peninsula called the Wirral, and it's a beautiful part of the world. We're almost an island, and we've got a huge Beatles and Mersey Beach culture, which is going on, which was the theme for my service accommodation. When I did my market research many years ago, I did a lot of background marketing to why people visit Liverpool, and it's just unbelievable. Worldwide, people love to come and experience the Beatles phenomenon. So I tailored my marketing on the back of that.
How long have you been hosting then, Ged?
We've been hosting since we prepared the company in 2018. We started in 2019, purely by accident. It's a huge property that I renovated that was dilapidated and owned by a dog breeder. It was a blight on the environment, and all the neighbors hated it. So I had a lot of experience in renovating properties. I got mentored by my dad from 13, so I was quite used to going into a place and seeing how it can be. And this particular property, there was always a hotel in this small terrace that I'd been in many years ago, so I already knew the footprint of this property, and I knew what this dilapidated property could be like. So that was pretty much a bit of a blueprint that I had in my mind. No one else could see it. They thought I was crazy, but we transformed this property into a beautiful hotel. It's a stunning place.
What would you say has been the biggest challenge? Was that the biggest challenge of starting your hospitality business, was the conversion, or has it been more in the operations and the running?
Wow, that's a massive question, because there's lots of challenges. You know, the biggest challenge was finding a market for this particular property, because I believe every property has got a purpose. And when you've got a big 12-room Victorian property, a traditional family just can't, it's too big. So you've got the choice of splitting them up into 4 flats, and you've got HMO or whatever. And when we first did this property, I used to live in there. We foster a lot of children, but we have done for the last 20 years. So it was a big foster home. So we knew how it functioned. We knew that it had loads of space, and we knew it had a purpose for a massive, huge family, and particularly for what we did. But we outgrew it, and we had to move somewhere else to do it because we completed everything. And we did just put it out for a normal AST. It was supposed to be a professional family, but They destroyed the place from top to bottom.
Oh,
And that's how I got involved in serviced accommodation, because I did look for different options, and corporate let seemed like the only option for this sort of property. So that's how I got involved in it. I have had other businesses over the last 35 years in hospitality, in Liverpool.
That was going to be my question, is what did you do before this serviced accommodation short-term rental business?
Well, I started off in marketing many years ago, network marketing, environmental products, and that took me down quite a few different paths. The marketing company, when Britain had to change all the legislation for European compliance, looked for little portals of opportunity where the UK government had to change the law to meet lots of different sectors, environments, employment, lots of little portals. So we created lots of little companies and sold those concepts off to different companies. That was really, really successful. But it meant that we did lots of research in different sectors, and we got involved in the hospitality industry in Liverpool, Manchester, and we were servicing hotels, restaurants, and the company just got so big, and we had like 5 or 6 companies all servicing the same customer base. But one of the companies was a vending company, and you weren't allowed to give out paracetamols anymore in the workplace, for example. But if they were vended, they were self-administered, and so a lot of commercial companies were interested in that because it saved having nurses on site who could administer. So we had lots of huge multinational accounts that we served we solved a problem, a big problem, and we rolled it out. But we got too big. And we got too complacent with one huge account. Which leads me to why I'm so anti a lot of the big OTAs. It's dangerous putting all your eggs in one basket, because once they're starting to control you and control your company, you're in dangerous waters. Then, and this happened to us. But as a knock-on effect, it pulled all the companies down. We thought they were all structured properly and all safe, but there was one little gap. And that was in my marketing company, because it was a partnership with a Saatchi & Saatchi marketing executive. But the partnership was not protected by limited company status. And so a lot of the liabilities, they landed on us personally, which is important when you're setting your business out to make sure it's structured properly and you're safe. But as a consequence, I went bankrupt. And we lost a business and lost a house, went into rented accommodation for 7 years. And do you know what, Liam? I've never been so more inspired and felt powerful, because I was a little bit burnt out, to be honest with you, for many years. So we got to the point where I took a little bit of time off, started cleaning the beaches up locally. Locals thought I was on some sort of order, but I didn't. I was just doing it because I wanted to, and I was able to regain my time back. Spent a lot of time with my family, but as a compulsive workaholic and an entrepreneur, I got back up and running, and I created a couple of other companies. I was an ice sculptor. And an ice merchant, again, serving the same customer base. They were all known customers to me. They were quite easy for me to I do find it quite easy to make money. I always have done, but that's because I've always been self-employed. And when you're self-employed, you have to go and create your work, create your market.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Bruce Lee podcast. Bruce Lee like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely.